You think you know why I'm skipping church every now and then, but you don't. You think you know why my children turn their backs on church after all that I've taught them, but you don't. You think you know why I'm still shouting when the preacher stops preaching and the choir stops singing, but you don't. If you only knew the true story, if you only knew what I've been going through and why I do the things that I do, your story about me would never be the same. Are you with me, church? You may see my sin, but you don't see me agonizing with God for deliverance in my secret closet. You see, friends, sometimes we need to take the time to put ourselves in other folks' shoes. Amen? I don't know what it's like to be a mathematician. I don't know what it's like to be in a high corporate world. I don't know what it's like to drive. I don't know what it's like to do a lot of that stuff. And you don't know what it's like to be a pastor. But if we would just put ourselves in other folks' shoes, we'd be able to understand other folk better. Are you with me, friends? Keep your finger where you are, but drive to 1 Thessalonians 5, 14 and 15. 1 Thessalonians 5, 14 and 15. Are you with me, church? 1 Thessalonians 5, 14 and 15. We are really our brother's keeper. Is that all right? Now don't worry, we're still going to get to the pigs. Don't worry. They're anxious to tell their story. And we're going to interview them in a couple minutes. Don't worry. Stay tuned. 1 Thessalonians 5, 14 and 15. What does it say? Now we exhort you what? Warn them that are what? Comfort the what? Support the what? Be patient toward all. See that none what? Unto what? Who? But ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Friends, if everybody just obey these two verses, the church wouldn't even have enough folk to be in it right now. Are you with me? If everybody in this church just obeyed those two verses, we will not be able to hold the folk. We'd have to get a whole other church building. Are you with me? We are called to minister to people. Now let's go back to the pigs. Right now, before I do it, let me drink a little water. I'm not as young as I used to be. I still have a little bit left though, amen. Listen, right now I'm going to use an anthropomorphic construct. To get into the minds of the pigs and bring a lesson for life. I would like to interview the head pig today, Boss Hog. Here we go. Mr. Pig, I understand that you are the leader of these 2,000 pigs. You are
sing